Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I kind of pretty much got my shed finished, and see that along there? That's duct tape. And see these holes over here? I'm not real concerned about sealing those up because the roof extends past the wall there, so I'm not too concerned about that. And there's the aluminum framework. Now I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a piece of light coming through right there. I'm not real sure where that's at. There's a little hole right there. I just duct tape that over. But what I want to do eventually is just get me a tube of silicone sealer. And what I want to do is go along the outside, along this back wall, and seal it from the outside so water can't get in. And pretty much that's about it. I mean, it's rained fairly hard a couple of times since I finished with most of it, the roofing and all this kind of stuff. And I did have a little bit of water right here on my, I don't know, I guess you call it grass director or whatever that thing is. Anyway, I had a little bit of water on that, and that was it. But as you can tell, I've got wood framework all over the place. Now, this was given to me, and I didn't have any instructions, and everything had part numbers on it and all that, and I really didn't understand just exactly how to put it together. So I came up with this wood framework right through here. You can see all this. And I showed you once before on all the corners, I screwed these 4x4s in each corner from the bottom. Underneath, it's got a metal framework underneath all this. Anyway, I put it all together, and I've got a big gap there. But one thing I like about having these gaps, and as you can tell, I got a pretty good sized gap over here as well. The idea that I like about that is it gives it plenty of ventilation, and with the rain that we've had, I haven't seen any moisture inside, except, like I said, right here on my, I don't know, whatever you call this thing. It just directs the flow of the grass away, and that was the only place that I found that was wet inside the building. But anyway, this is the inside. And I know this really looks goofy. I put these 2x4s in to hold these pieces in place, and the reason these are the way they are is because the doors, they have this groove at the bottom, and then this other piece, this groove at the top right here. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's what the doors slide in. And anyway, this piece right here holds this up high enough where I could get the door just right. And I put a wood screw in the top of this to hold this piece in place. And I didn't think about it till after I did this, but what I probably should have done was drill a couple of holes into this like this, and then run the 2x4 on the outside and just screw it to from the other side of the metal into the 2x4. And I think that may have been a little better, but for no more than what it weighs, I think that's going to be pretty solid right there. I put 2 screws in it here to hold this piece in place. And when I first put this on there, it did hang down a little bit below here, and I cut that off with my circular saw because I didn't want to bump my head, but I haven't been worrying about that part. I still hit my head on this piece though. And this over here was the same way. I put a wood screw on this side. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but it's right there. But anyway, put the wood screw through that, and this is just aluminum. This piece here is just aluminum, and it was easy enough to get the screws to go through there. And I got this all conglomerated mess, but I'll show you why. I put this 2x4 on, this one here, I put it on to have something to screw the sheet metal to. What happened in this case, I had such a big gap between here and the door that I really didn't like it. So what I did, I took a 2x6, this piece right here, and that's my doggy. But anyway, I was able to move the sheet metal out, and this is how far I moved it out. And I put the screw in right here for two reasons, because I wanted to have a little more meat on the 2x6 right here and on the 2x4 up there, so it wouldn't split the wood. But that works out fairly well. But mainly I wanted to put my mower in there to keep my mower out of both the sun and the rain. I guess the rain wasn't that big of a deal, but I just didn't like the idea of it getting wet. And then I got these doors. But see, I did have a real big gap. I know that's a pretty good sized gap right there, but I did have a real big gap, and by bringing it out at the top, that closed it up. And I took it on the inside, I moved the bottom out about 1 inch. And anyway, it's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It was just, I wanted to close up that gap a little bit. And of course you can see the top. It's not where I came together with the top, and I'll show you this from this side. See, I took those sheet metal pieces like that over there, and took